Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Good morning. Is the sound okay, Pai? Brother Nathya, is the sound okay?
Dipty, I can hear you well.
Sorry?
I can hear you well.
Okay, good. This, okay. So, okay, good. Oh, okay. So today's Murli of Baba is, I find it such a beautiful Murli to understand what this journey is about. Okay, good. Okay. Today's Murli of Baba is, something is echoing by. I find it such a beautiful Murli to understand what this journey is about. Okay. Today's Murli of Baba is, something is echoing by. I find it such a beautiful Murli to understand what this journey is about.
Brother Nithya, can you hear us?
Something is echoing by.
Is Brother Nithya there? Who is hosting? Brother Nithya, can you hear us? Yes, I can hear you. My mic is not working. Brother Nithya there? So there's definitely something wrong.
It's got two devices
I
on.
think there's two devices because we are hearing back Dipty Ben's voice. Okay, that seems to be better. So, Sharda, can you just tell us if it's clear now?
Yes, it is clear, Belinda. Thank you.
Thank you. Can we put Dipty Ben's face on the full screen?
Okay. So today's Murli, I really appreciate how this time of the confluence age is so different from the rest of the cycle. And in today's Murli, Baba is really encouraging us how to take the maximum out of this confluence age. Baba has come, but how do I connect with Baba? I could be connecting with Baba like how I may have connected before I recognized Baba. And Baba is highlighting today, how do you connect with Baba? And how do I take the fullness of this knowledge? And how, when the two of it work together, I can get the fullness of the confluence age. So Baba would say at times that souls have a lot of bhavna, they have good feelings for God. And out of love, they say, Baba, Baba, Baba. And it's lovely, it's very lovely. But how powerful is it that when I call on Baba, there's a transformative energy taking place. For a long time, we've called on God in different ways. And it's been lovely, it's been assuring, and we've benefited in many ways. But the conference aged time is different. Whatever is deep in the soul has to change. It's so beautiful the other day in the Borg message, where Baba said that when Baba gives drishti, Baba's taking something away from the soul, and Baba's giving the soul something. Such a living moment in that experience. So every time when I take drishti from Baba, do I feel that living moment, that this is a very, very exchanging energy that's taking place. And as God is looking at me through those eyes, truth is supporting me and is helping me move something out. Because when some energy is so powerful and looks at you, it has to change you, even in the world. Yeah? And so how much do I feel that drishti from Baba is shifting things? Baba's helping me in that energy of truth. Something is being moved. And because God is benevolent God, He's constantly filling me with something. Very, very powerful energy together. And so how much do I take the fullness of this time, of the conference age, and how much do I connect with Baba from that space? And I have to ask myself, am I connecting with God now the way I connected with God before? Or Baba's come to teach me how to take the maximum at the conference age. So for example, I may know that God is ocean of love. And I like it. And I love Baba's being love. And out of bhavna, I can say, oh, Baba, you're so loving. You're so nice. And it's a good feeling in the heart. But Baba teaches us a different method to be able to take. He teaches us how to stay first in our self-respect and then draw from Baba. It's like Baba teaches us, you are first peace, and then you're connecting to the ever peaceful one. I'm not saying, oh God, I'm peaceless and you're peaceful. Baba's saying, no, even if it's 1%, you have peace in you. I've reminded you you're a soul and you have peace in you. Come back to that peace. Because you must remember that things can only be amplified in God's vibration if it's of a similar kind. I can't say that I don't feel love, but God, you're all loving and make me loveful. I won't be able to take maximum from Baba. That's why the first lesson of soul consciousness is the most important lesson. Because Baba is putting me in a state of consciousness through which I can now draw maximum from Baba. And it's very, very important in our yoga that we first come back to the real original self of the soul. And then when I connect with Baba, the power that I'll feel is very different. You know? Baba's saying at the end of the cycle, even if you think everything is gone, the fact that you still recognize Baba means there is a percentage of that in you already. Start from that place. And not starting from a place of I have nothing and you have everything. Baba says, even at the end, you have something, because that's why you recognize God. And so when Baba today is talking about how souls that have bhavna have a very beautiful relationship with God. And that's lovely. But right now, we need to make our love such that it has the power of love. It's very different from just having love. You know? And so to really relook, I found when I was listening to Baba's Murli today, to really look at what is my yoga like with God. This is the time in the cycle, more than at any other time in the cycle, I have access to God directly. Am I still thinking about Baba in my yoga, or am I spending time with Baba in my yoga? No? Because I can spend the whole half an hour saying, oh, Baba, I think you're so beautiful, you're so powerful. Oh. But to taste that power, to taste that presence of God is two different things. I can think about God or I can be with God. And yoga is the time to be with Baba. I can take the whole day thinking how nice God is. But when I'm really taking that quiet moment to say, okay, Baba, you know, it's like I can look at Damayanti Ben, and right now I can say, you know, Damayanti Ben is so and so, and she's saying, but talk to me, I'm in front of you. It's like, it's unnatural if I'm like talking about her in front of her, and I can just, she'll come to a point and she'll say, but I'm in front of you. Can you rather just talk to me? You know? And so I have to see the quality of my yoga. How much am I thinking about God? Or how much am I with God? And what helps that in a very powerful way is also the knowledge. And so Baba gives me knowledge of the soul. Baba gives me knowledge of the kind of soul I am. Baba makes me aware of that knowledge. And so it is when I use that to then connect to Baba, then the energy is very different. I can say to Baba before, like, oh, Baba, you Almighty God. Wonderful. I'm like, and you'll protect me. But like we talked about yesterday, Baba gave us the method to say, I am here for you. But you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you will access me almost immediately. Because God is there. But whether I can access God is something I have to do. Oops. Sorry if you had a punch. But so I can think of Baba as protector. And in our bhavna, we'll say, oh God, I know you'll protect me. So it's lovely. I have deep faith in Baba. But then something happens and I don't feel that protection. Then the soul starts fighting with God. Where were you when I needed you? Or they feel hurt and then they get disheartened. And they say, but Baba, you said you'll protect me. But then what happened? But the knowledge says that I am available to you, child. You just keep this pathway open and you'll get there. If like you put things on your pathway, then you can't reach God. Forget God can't reach you. You can't reach God. You know? And so that is why Baba would say a prerequisite is purity. A prerequisite is wake up early in the morning and remember me, so that your intellect is anchored for the day. So all these kind of things, so that if I'm having powerful Amrit Vela, then my intellect is of a different quality. Then things happen during the day. I will have a touching. I'll have a feeling, don't go there, don't do that. And that, if I listen to that, that will help my protection. And then in that moment, even if I go Baba, I will access Baba. But there's certain things I have to make right first. Very, very important. You know? In today's Murli, Baba is also talking, and I think the Murli came as a result of this, where two souls had just arrived in Madhuban, and then they left their body. Right? So again here, it's about knowing when to be sensible and knowing when to, sometimes people are overcautious. They say, no, maybe I shouldn't go, I shouldn't do this because of this or that. So it's an extreme. There's an extreme of overcaution. And then there are souls that know that maybe right now they need medical help. And then they say, no, let me go to Madhuban, or let me do this. Baba will look after me. Now, there's a difference there. You need to know when to be sensible, and maybe right now you just need to take your medicine and go to sleep. You know what I mean? And then know that in 2 weeks' time, if you feel better, because our enthusiasm and bhavna, or so-called, mustn't stress other people out too. You know, like it's a very important balance. Some people have a lot of enthusiasm and they like, oh, I'm here, Baba, I'm here. And then the next minute you heard they left their iron on and the key is locked. Now 10 people have to go behind to help them sort it out. It's just extremes, you know. And Baba's saying very, very practically that when you are a yogi soul, really a yogi soul, you'll know at this time I can act. So I'm not like overcautious, or at the same time, I'm not careless and just have this loose kind of feeling, oh yeah, Baba will sort it out, Baba will do this. And it happens on many levels, even with our finance. You know? Baba is a sustainer, or resources, not just, I wouldn't just say money, but Baba is a sustainer. Baba is the one who nurtures my life's journey. But one prerequisite is maybe, from my side, no wastage. So I understand the law of karma. Because I understand the law of karma, I don't waste. And as a result of that, Baba will always look after the child. And I find with royalty, there will never be a scarcity. Okay. Yeah. So we see that difference. Yeah. So today Baba is really talking in the Murli about balance. And as you listen to the Murli, it's so beautiful how Baba teaches us that love's full space to be. Shabda, so far so good?
Very good, Dipty. Thank you.
Okay. So we're going to listen to Baba's Murli now. And as we listen to the Murli, let's just highlight those aspects a little bit more. So it's a Murli of 1992, of the 1st of April, 1992. And the theme of the Murli: in order to experience the flying stage, maintain a balance of two things: feelings, that is bhavna, filled with knowledge, and yoga filled with love. Yeah? Again, just one thing I want to say is that sometimes, before we have learned the technique of meditating, and we say, become a soul, now lift yourself from the consciousness. It's like so dry, It's like, it's like one is I need to be a soul in my experience, but this is my Baba. It's like, go to Baba. It's like there's the understanding, but there's also a relationship here. We're having a relationship with God. So when Baba's saying here, yoga filled with love, yes, I have a method through which I do it, but I have to be careful that it's not dry. I'm a point. Baba, you also a point. And then the next moment I pass asleep. It's like we missed the point totally. So today Baba is seeing the loving souls who are embodiments of loving feelings, and the yogi souls who are embodiments of knowledge. Yogi souls who are embodiments of knowledge. So how much is my yoga filled with understanding? Yeah? Both types of souls are loved by the Father, and both types of souls have a right to the inheritance of instant fruit according to their love and feelings. So for a long time, to love Baba out of that good feeling, Baba will give you the return of that. But the confluence age is transformative time. So how much is my love changing things? So the yogi souls who are embodiments of knowledge are receiving the inheritance of experiencing being equal in all powers and in being close to the Father according to their capacity. Although both are embodiments of attainment, there's a difference in the attainment of each. Baba is really going to catch it and reflect on yourself. How do I connect with God? This Baba is providing a real mirror of what happens when, am I remembering God through my old method? And it may have been very beautiful and pure, because our copper aged time with Baba was also beautiful. But confluence aged connection, Baba, is different. And I have to ask myself, is my connection with Baba confluence aged? Because he's given me all the methods, how at this time to take fully from him. Yeah. So Baba says the children who are embodiments of love and loving feelings constantly stay in remembrance because of their loving feelings. As a result of their loving feelings, they experience love for the Father, and they also experience power, but they do not constantly experience all powers. You see the difference? So, for example, if everything is okay, I feel power from God. But if something is troubling me, can I at that moment just look at God, take drishti from Baba, and feel this active moment from God to say, not worth it, pack up. You know, it's like the right power that I need in that moment comes in my yogi connection with Baba. So it's like, it's a very specific process. So sometimes souls have a dominant power that they always turn to, maybe the power to withdraw, the power to withdraw. But certain times you need the power to face, and the power to tolerate, and the power to accommodate, all these powers. But when I have a living connection with Baba, Baba's drishti at that time will say to you, come on, make your heart big, accept, or pack up, not worth it. It's like with wisdom, you know how to act. But it's like somebody who's with you can guide you in that way. It's so beautiful. It's a living moment with Baba. Yeah. So Baba's saying here, yogi souls who are embodiments of knowledge, especially experience, let me read the line before, sorry. Yogi souls who are embodiments of knowledge, especially experience victory easily with the experience of all powers. They experience equality. So although both types of knowledge, children are progressing, only the yogi souls experience having a constantly unshakable and immovable stage. Loving souls and souls who are embodiments of loving feelings are moving forward with their love and loving feelings, but they are not constantly victorious. Yeah. Can you see what Baba's saying? Yeah. Loving souls constantly have Baba, Baba in their minds and on their lips, and they therefore receive cooperation from time to time. They definitely receive the fruit of their love from the Father at the right time. However, in becoming equal, it is the knowledgeable and yogi souls who are closer. This is why you must keep the aim of having loving feelings and being an embodiment of knowledge. To the extent that you have loving feelings, accordingly, you must also be an embodiment of knowledge. Having loving feelings alone or knowledge alone is not perfection. Very deep point. Yeah. Now, some people have an answer for every question, but sometimes all you need from them is love in that moment, or listening ear, or something much more real in that way. You don't just need a perfect answer. Sometimes you may know the right thing, but maybe the best thing at that time is acknowledgement. So to know whether I have to prove myself right, or whether I need to offer support and cooperation at that time. Maybe that may be the best thing that will help that relationship at that time. And it's not being compromising. It's just knowing what is needed in that moment. Even though you can see the right answer, but maybe the right answer is not what the need of that moment is, because you'll just feel good. Oh, at least my ego is pumped up. I said the right thing. But maybe they just need you to be present. And in that moment, the right thing will happen. But it's all about timing. So the right answer is there, but the timing is not now. Timing right now means maybe the soul needs acknowledgement. The soul needs respect. So it's like everything is about knowing the balance of knowing when to do what. Yeah? The balance of both loving feelings filled with knowledge and being a yogi soul with love easily enables you to experience the flying stage. This is the key line of the Murli. The balance of both loving feelings filled with knowledge and being a yogi soul with love. So not just having like a technique, but having a relationship. To be equal to the Father means to be equal in both these aspects. At the present time, more souls who are embodiments of loving feelings come onto the field of service. Those souls are necessary for completing both tasks of establishment, whether for establishing the original eternal deity religion or establishing the kingdom. However, according to the time, there's now a greater need for Jnani yogi souls, because due to an atmosphere of an attitude of disinterest in the future, souls who are embodiments of loving feelings will come even more easily. This is why greater attention has to be paid to souls who are Jnani and yogi in doing service. Again, very important aspect, because we may have the bhavna to serve, to make a difference. But again, how much is my stage filled with a connection with Baba? So some souls like to serve. But if I serve as a yogi souls, I will connect more souls to Baba. Yeah. But at the same time, if I'm a Jnani soul, I will serve accurately. So like I don't overcompensate, and everything is like I mustn't go into extreme. Some people are extremely serviceable and they say, I love Baba, I love Baba. But then sometimes there's a lot of wastage that takes place. Sometimes things are unfinished. There's no accountability. Like many loose ends stay. But when I'm a yogi soul and a Jnani soul, I bring Baba into it and I do my best that I can. But I'm knowledgeful at the same time about karma and drama and Karan Karavan Har Baba and soul. I'm knowledgeful about all of those things whilst I have this deep love to serve for Baba. So all these flavors come into play. Yeah. It's a very deep Murli, this. Yeah, good to unpack. So Baba's saying here, this is why greater attention has to be paid to souls who are Jnani and yogi in doing service. It is essential to increase the number of such souls. Do you understand? Do not be content that the number of souls is increasing a lot, but now prepare souls who experience having all the powers like the Father. The kingdom is expanding very well. However, for world transformation, only souls who have a balance of both forms become instruments. This is because for world transformation, souls are needed to have a very powerful stage of subtle powers and who are able to transform many souls with their attitude and their elevated thoughts. You know, Baba teaches us such a nice system and rhythm. It's like even when you're going somewhere to give a talk or something, and you may have the right knowledge and you may even have the ability to talk. But if you haven't prepared a yogi atmosphere, you're not accurately connecting those souls to Baba. I find like even yesterday morning was so beautiful, so beautiful. I knew that many souls were coming to Baba's home, and I was just sitting there at the back early in the morning, and I was just saying, I was just invoking Baba. It was just such a beautiful feeling. And that light that I felt in this room was so incredible. That for me was what was sustaining my whole day's experience. And then whatever had to happen in the afternoon, evening happened. But another preparation was needed beforehand. And this is how one is the obvious moment when we serve, like even when we were having the Raki program in observatory, just like for 108 hours before the time, whoever wanted to join into contributing an hour of yoga. It's like you create an atmosphere. And then in that atmosphere, what needs to happen will happen. And that will be influenced by Baba then. Because you've brought Baba, you've kept invoking Baba into the space. So Baba's saying both are needed at this time. And that is the subtle power of invocation that Baba's talking about. Souls are needed who have a very powerful stage of subtle powers and who are able to transform many souls with their attitude and elevated thoughts. Souls who experience love for themselves and souls who have loving feelings move along very well by themselves, but they do not have the love or loving feelings for the world, like needing the capacity. You know, I can keep saying, oh, I'm okay. Everything is nice. Very good. Nice. How are you? I'm so nice. Everything's nice. But there's no power there. It's like that moment is good. But let me build capacity that what's feeling so good is vibrating in a bigger space. You know? So Baba's saying here, they do it only for themselves and for a few close souls. Only those souls who have a balance are able to do unlimited service and world service. Unlimited service can only be done with powerful thoughts of the mind and with good wishes and pure feelings, not just by having loving feelings for oneself. It is by having good wishes and pure feelings that you can transform others. So have you become such souls who have loving feelings filled with knowledge, together with love and the power of yoga. You know, it's like it's a very beautiful but powerful balance. It's like when something happens in life, knowledge tells us this is the drama. But the people in our life mustn't feel coldness in that moment from us. It's like there's a very fine balance that's needed, because I need that level of detachment. But I'm also the child of the benevolent Father. And so even in that moment when I detached enough to say drama, soul should feel a love and a support that's clean and powerful. I felt that even this year, you know, when I lost my Lokik brother, I knew this was meant to happen. It was at the right time. The soul felt quite stable, but the family felt cared for. They didn't feel I was cold. They didn't feel that, oh, I don't know how the spiritual thing works. It's just like quite detached. Because yes, the reality is the soul is on its journey. Yes, the reality is the soul is eternal. We have knowledge, but our vibration has to be so powerful and clean that in that moment there's a fine, beautiful balance of detachment and love. So they don't feel that God is not there for them, and they don't feel that, oh, you're on some tangent, you are so stable and detached, but you don't understand us. They should feel our support. They should feel our love. They should feel Baba. But at the same time, there's a fine line that holds things in perspective. Yeah. So this balance is a very subtle, fine line. And I mustn't go into the extreme. Yeah? Because sometimes, like, even if somebody is like sick, oh, people can give all the knowledge. The worst thing to say to them, oh, is your karma, you know, they're just, it's like not, but you understand there's karma. You understand certain things. But right now, maybe they just need your hand of support. It's like, need to know that. And know that how far you can go so that it's not forgotten. So they also take strength and power by understanding karma. But at the same time, they feel love and support by your pure vibration. Yeah? So Baba's saying here, check whether you have become benefactors or unlimited world benefactors. I think I've missed a line. Let me just go back. So have you become souls who have loving feelings filled with knowledge, together with love and the power of yoga? Or are you happy just to see loving souls who have loving feelings? Check whether you've become benefactors or unlimited world benefactors. What is the result? Bab Dada has already told you that he has love for both types of souls. Bab Dada is pleased to see both types of souls. At least you've become loving and made Baba belong to you, have you not? You have recognized him. You have claimed the right to the inheritance. You have come into the line of a handful out of multi-millions. You have reached your destination. You have saved yourself from wandering around with your bodies and minds. And this is why you are happy is it not? So the children are happy and the father is also happy. Pali Ben Baba's very happy. You have become those who have the fortune of happiness, have you not? Compared to the souls of the world, look how ordinary the souls who belong to the Father directly are. Look how wonderful the students of the world teacher are. The one who is teaching is the highest on high, and those who are studying are ordinary. But only those who are ordinary know the Father who comes in an ordinary form. We recognize Baba. Bab Dada does not come here as a VIP. He comes in an ordinary form. He does not enter the body of a prime minister or a king. This is why only the ordinary ones who recognize him claim the fortune. You are so fortunate, are you not? Geraldine. So sweet. You have received such great fortune. Even to say multi-million times fortunate is not enough. Yeah. Imagine. Even now, the number of children is very large. Previously, you used to think, what will such a large hall be used for? That time was still Om Shanti Bhavan. However, what does it seem like now? We should have an even larger hall. Brahmins have the blessing that no matter how big you make something, it will still be small. Babdara is congratulating all of you who have come. However, do not simply have loving feelings, but also become knowledgeable. Also become knowledgeable about matter. Don't just have knowledge about souls, but about souls, the Supreme Soul, and matter too. The drama is also included in those. You need the knowledge of all three. Where am I going to, and what attention I need to pay to myself? So I see maybe in the English Murli they didn't share that story, ne? About the two souls. It's coming, okay. So Baba saying here, you need to have knowledge of all three, the place, the individual, and the stage. Do not simply have loving feelings. I have to go there. I have to bring them here. To be an embodiment of knowledge means to be far-sighted and to be able to see the three aspects of time. So again, on many levels in Brahman life, I can have enthusiasm and I want to glorify, but I have to keep all things in perspective. You know? And really, we see in the life of Baba and the Yajna, especially in the beginning, so much happened and the Yajna grew. But Baba never wasted. There's a karmic understanding, you know? Whether it was time, whether it was resources, And then look at Dadiji. Dadiji's heart was so big and everything grew abundantly. But if you look at the accuracy with which things happened, there's no wastage. You see that in Madhuban. Madhuban is such a perfect example. You feel it's home, it's abundant, but there's no wastage. Everything is used accurately. Baba teaches us that balance as well. Yeah. Like a simple thing. So when a place needs to be used nicely, you put the lights on everything and it's lovely. But when you leave, switch the light off. It's like simple things. You can't just say, oh, well, it was so nice. Just to be sensible about respecting resources. And it's not about just for if it's a place, it's like at the end of time, matter has to be respected so that it's used properly. Yeah. So Baba is so high in what he can teach us, but he's very practical. Yeah. Simple things. You can apply the same knowledge to the world, and you can apply it to the self, and you can apply it to the little things you do. The principle is the same. Yeah. So Baba's saying here, you need to have knowledge of all three, the place, the individual, and the stage. Do not simply have loving feelings. I have to go there, I have to bring them here. To be an embodiment of knowledge means to be far-sighted and to be able to see the three aspects of time. If you have clear knowledge of all three, you attain success. If someone falls ill again and again due to his own mistakes, Bab Dada would not call such a soul knowledgeable or yogi. Knowledge means to have understanding. Understand your stage and understand your body. If your intellect has full knowledge of the soul and the condition of the body and the atmosphere, you are knowledgeful. Therefore, do not become happy with just loving feelings. Both those who come here and those who bring others here should be knowledgeful. Whatever happens is then said to be sweet drama. So first consider those things, and then if things happen, at least then you can say drama. You will not have any upheaval, will you? Remain unshakable. However, you must pay attention in the future. Bab Dada knows how much some children have to tolerate in coming here. Baba has already congratulated you for that. Whatever inheritance each soul is to have, he will definitely receive it. No one can be deprived of the inheritance, whether they are personally in front of Baba, in the corporeal form, or whether they are in the stage of man above, at their own place, they will definitely receive the inheritance. You have to be doubly knowledgeful. Do not be half knowledgeful. Yeah? And it's really a balanced line here. Because, sometimes souls who have a tendency towards thinking too much, they become overcautious. They think things too much. And then there are people that are loving and they they, oh, Baba will take care of everything, you know, but they don't put certain things in place. You need that fine balance. You know? Don't think too much, and so don't stifle yourself. Don't hold back due to your sanskar of over control. But at the same time, don't let so loose from that space. It's a beautiful balance that Baba teaches us. You have to be doubly knowledgeful. Do not be half knowledgeful. It's a very practical, deep Murli from Baba. To the fortunate souls everywhere, to the souls who are experienced in having a balance of love and the power of yoga, to the souls who are embodiments of knowledge and loving feelings, to the souls who fulfill the aim of becoming equal to the Father, to the souls who constantly experience themselves to be close, to the special souls who remain constantly unshakable and immovable. Bap Dada's love, remembrance, and namaste. Namaste to Baba. And in brackets it's written, 2 elderly brothers from Karnataka left their bodies in the same hour after coming to Madhuban. And Bab Dada therefore drew attention to that. You know? So again, Baba's just, you know, it causes inconvenience. I mean, I've seen some very practical examples of that. You know, like sometimes on a simple level, is souls used to come to observatory and now they're going to the airport and you say, have you packed everything? Yes, sister, we're on our way to Madhuban, so much love. And then you open the photocopier machine, you find their passport, and now you have to run to catch them. You know, it's like, it's love to have, it's nice to have the intoxication, but just like stop, be still for 2 seconds and check a reality. You know what I mean? And then move. So you don't get stressed and you don't put stress on others too. You know? Like simple things. You know, Baba teaches us it's lovely to have that intoxication, but be sensible at the same time. You know? Then Bab Dada meeting daddies. The power of the gathering is making the gathering move forward. You are giving cooperation to one another with very good courage and are progressing very well. The courage of your instrument souls is increasing the courage of many souls. You have become experienced in every situation. It seems like nothing new, does it not? Bab Dada is giving sakash from behind the curtain. But it is you souls who are playing the part on the stage. Yeah? Such a beautiful kind of feeling that Baba's just pumping out. Like Baba's just giving that sakash. You are playing good parts. At Amrit Vela, Bab Dada constantly says, good morning and namaste to the gathering of Mahavir souls, the number 1 souls. Call it sakash or call it love. It becomes nourishment for the whole day. It seems like that, does it not? Everything is okay. With courage, success is guaranteed. I just want to, for those that may have not heard this, but I really found it extremely helpful when Baba's talking about courage here, just like one of the seniors that had shared before, that how on the spiritual journey that courage is so necessary, and they were talking about how to take maximum from the Murli, and just the feeling that I'm listening to the Murli. That's the first step, most important. Daily I listen to the Murli. But secondly, do I have the courage to accept what Baba is saying? Because you have to face certain realities when you hear the Murli. Do I have the courage to accept it? And thirdly, do I have the determination to carry through? And fourthly, do I celebrate it? That is what it means to be a student. Not just listening to the Murli daily and say, that's nice. But the second step, do I have the courage to accept it? Thirdly, do I have the determined energy to pull it through? Yeah. And daily, and then really make that your life, which it means to celebrate it. 4 steps of this yogi life, student life. And when I first heard it, I really resonated with it. And every day in my chart, this is what I do. And it's helped me so much to see, okay, if I took 1 point from today, did I have the courage to accept it and live it? And then did I stay aware of it? And at the end of it, how much did it become part of me? That's how I celebrate my life. So, and then you see as the weeks go by and the months go by, you see how certain things become part of your blood as such. You know? Then Bab Dada meeting double foreign brothers and sisters. Bab Dada meeting a group from Australia. Bab Dada is seeing the speciality of children from Australia. Do you know what the speciality of the residents of Australia is? And somebody said in brackets, they don't know this because this is the first time they've come. Have you come to a totally new place or a place that's familiar to you? As soon as you arrive at this place, the awareness of the previous cycle becomes so clear. It is as though you have seen it now in your present birth. This is a sign of souls who are close. By experiencing this, you can know yourself as to whether you are a soul who is close or distant to the Brahman family. You can know whether you are in the first number or the second number. The speciality of the subtle alokic relationship is that each one of you considers yourself to be number 1. In a worldly way, you would understand number-wise that someone is number 1, someone is number 2, and another is number 3. However, here, even the last one of you believes that although he has come last, he has come first. The aim is good. You have to come first. The sign of being first is to remain constantly with the Father. Not that you should try to do this, but you experience that company constantly. When you experience this, my Baba, you automatically remember that which belongs to you. You don't have to make effort to remember it. To say mine means to have that right. Baba is mine and I am Baba's. These words are so few and they are a matter of just a second. This is known as being an easy yogi. On the boards you put up, you say, Easy Raj Yoga Center. So have you learned such easy yoga? Does Maya come to you? Maya cannot come in front of those who are with the Father. Once Baba said in the Murli, which I love and I remember a lot, Maya can't climb up. The words Baba said is, Maya can't climb up. So if you stay up, then Maya can't come to you. So when something happens, just stay up. Maya can't climb up. I said, okay, Baba, I know many cats can climb up, but this one, Baba, is your word, so I believe it. Maya can't climb up. Maya cannot come in front of those who are with the Father. You know where you live physically because that home is made for you. And whenever you are free, you can easily go home and rest there. In the same way, when you know that you have to stay with the Father, that is, it is your destination, you can stay there whilst doing your work. You should experience this with your intellects. All of you have created your fortune and have come in front of the fortune maker. Bab Dada is seeing the sparkling star of fortune of each of you. This is a variety group. There are children, the elderly, and also the youth. However, all of you are now young children. Some would say that they are 8 months old, and others would say that they are 12 months old. You would only speak of your spiritual birthday. Acha. All of you are long lost and now found children of the previous cycle. Constantly continue to move along whilst remaining merged in unshakable love for the Father. This unshakable remembrance will solve all problems, make you into a flying bird, and take you into your flying stage. While seated on Bab Dada's heart throne, constantly have the intoxication that you are the ones who have all rights every cycle. You will continue to claim your rights every cycle. Congratulations. You are souls who are worthy of receiving congratulations constantly. Acha. Then Baba's attention went to America, the souls from America. All of you are the crown on Bab Dada's head. You are elevated souls, are you not? Every thought and every word of elevated souls would be elevated. It is not only sometimes, but all the time, because you are receiving the inheritance for all time. Therefore, when you have a right to receive an inheritance for all time, let your stage also be for all time. Always remember the word constantly. Sada. Bab Dada is giving all of you children this blessing. You will remain constantly happy and remain constantly in the flying stage. You will remain constantly full of all treasures. Souls who receive such blessings automatically become easy yogis. Is today a day of happiness? Who are more happy? Who has more happiness? The father or the children? Who has more happiness? Who has more? The children. And then somebody responded, children have more happiness. Bab Dada is happy that there is no such father in the whole world whose every child is elevated. If Bab Dada were to describe the speciality of each child, many years would pass by. You are such special souls, and there would be a scripture created of the praise of each child. If you had such faith, you would automatically become constant conquerors of Maya. It's very beautiful what Baba's saying here. And think about, I find it helps, think about the whole cycle and think about that one idol or some image, and very elevated image that you have a resonance with. Think about whoever or whatever that energy is that you've had a resonance with. And have that feeling that you are that. It helps you shift your sanskars towards that. It helps you. Because otherwise you can always come down to a, like I'm using it because, like for example, and I'm using a bhakti image for me that I've always resonated with. And so as a child, my mother used to be a very strong follower of Jagadamba. Yeah? Because you got Jagadamba every time you listen to it. So, and I felt that Mama sustained me throughout the whole cycle. That at the very end of the cycle too, it was like when I was born, my mother had said to Ambama that, you know, your child has come. And as a result of that, the first place when we went to India, before we even went to family, was to Ambaji temple. Because my mother felt it was a duty to bring the child back to the real mother. So only when I came to Baba, I really understood. And I looked at Mama and I said to Mama that, you know, you've looked after me through the whole cycle. That even in this birth, when physically I was born, it was like my mother put me back to you. Like, here's your real mother. And so Jagadamba has always, there's Baba, and Baba's always there. But that I'm also the daughter of Jagadamba. And just that feeling of who I am and who I belong to has been a very practical attention to certain behaviors or certain vibrations that the soul would like to emit, because I know where I belong. Because Baba is sometimes subtle, and we know that is powerful, but when things happen, you can lose that subtlety. And when you lose that subtlety, you sometimes lose a lot. But if there's something else you can hold on to, that just becomes a symbol of a reminder. It keeps you in a certain space. You don't drop too far. Yeah. Then Baba went to Mexico, the Mexicans. Are you as close to the heart as you are physically far away? Do you experience this? Have all of you reserved your seat on Babdada's heart throne? Babdada knows the value of each and every jewel. Each jewel is an instrument to make the task of establishment successful. So do you consider yourself to be such an invaluable jewel? You are such fortunate souls that the Father searched for you from so far away and made you belong to him. You are multi-million times more fortunate than the great scholars of today. Just maintain the happiness that you have attained what you wanted in life. The beautiful song in Hindi, Panatha Jopalia. Pali means your name somewhere in the middle of all that. Panatha Jopalia. Yeah, or the line or the song.
No, the line.
Oh, the line, okay. So Baba's saying here, you are multi-million times more fortunate than the great scholars of today. Just maintain the happiness that you have attained what you wanted in life. You have attained. And then Baba goes to the souls of New Zealand. You are creating the new land, are you not? You have made yourself new, and so you will also make the world new, will you not? You write and speak of your occupation as being creators of the new world. Therefore, you will make the place where you live new, will you not? Once Baba defined in the Murli, new is spiritual. When Baba talks about new, Baba talks about being spiritual. So Baba is saying here, therefore you'll make the place where you live new, will you not? Each place has its own speciality. What is the speciality of New Zealand? The people of Bharat who went to New Zealand have recognized the Father who is making the fortune of Bharat elevated once again. The children living in Bharat haven't recognized him, but those living abroad now understand the praise of Bharat and the Father. Very good children who have become separated have emerged from New Zealand. I was reminding Brother Simon yesterday that whilst he was in Joburg, he gave a course to a group of mothers from India, but nowadays South Africans, young mothers, and they are Paka Brahmins, and they remember Brother Simon a lot. And somebody had asked them, who did this? It's a white brother. They're so innocent. The white brother, and this white brother gave us the knowledge of Bharat. Like in the beginning, because their parents used to ask them from India, so which sister did your course? No sister, there was a white brother who did our course. And I was saying to Brother Simon that they tied the Pakka Brahmin Rakhi this year, yeah, in full dharna. So the children living in Bharat haven't recognized him, but those living abroad now understand the praise of Bharat and the Father. Very good children who have become separated have emerged in New Zealand. Teachers have been found later. However, the establishment of service took place first. This is why you are courageous children who have zeal and enthusiasm. You are special. Do you understand? So full dose, very deep dose in the beginning of the Murli from Baba. And the blessing for today. May you finish all the subtle threads of attachment. Fly in the flying stage and become a perfect angel. May you finish all the subtle threads of attachment. Fly in the flying stage and become a perfect angel. An angel means one who has no connection with the old world. So check in a subtle way whether the slightest trace of a thread of attachment pulls you to itself. If you like something, it will definitely pull you to itself. Some say that they don't have any desires, but that they like something. So desire is a thick cord, and to like something is a subtle cord. Sure. Now finish even that and become a perfect angel. Slogan. To donate powers with your mind and virtues with your actions is to be a great donor. To donate powers with your mind and virtues with your actions is to be a great donor. The candles burning so beautifully today. Oh, okay, good. So beautiful Murli from Baba. I was really highlighting at a very deep level this word balance today. Yeah? Yogi and knowledgeful. So let us take some time to reflect for a moment. Just digest it. And see what Baba's drawn your attention to specifically today. What happened for you today? Om Shanti. To know who's doing Murli revision? Some people do. Hello. Om Shanti. I'm talking to the Zoom family.
Om Shanti Dipty.
Yeah.
Om Shanti Dipty.
Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Is there anyone like to share or anyone's going to do the Murli revision? Or you like to do it with us? So.
Om Shanti Dipty, then it's Usha. It's my turn today to do the Murli revision.
Oh, wonderful, my sister Usharani. Very good. So thank you all. Very deep Murli from Baba. I'm today in Port Elizabeth with a beautiful family. And we tied Rakhi yesterday with Baba. A lovely, lovely atmosphere, a beautiful energy, and some of Baba's very young babies that are full of intoxication. So yes, according to the drama, I'm here with Sister Belinda in Port Elizabeth. Yeah, good. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Shanti
Thank
Ben.
you.
Om Shanti Jai Bhai. Good.
Lovely.
Have a powerful Rakhi today.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. I know in Cape Town and in Durban today they have their Rakhi program. So enjoy. Om Shanti. Thank you. Okay. Usha Ben is going to be rehearsing, not rehearsing, revising, right? You can also rehearse, Usha Ben. Huh?
Okay, Ben, I will do that rehearsal now.
Okay, you take care of the Zoom now. Okay. Okay,
Thank you,
Usha
Ben.
Ben. All right. Om Shanti. I take your leave.
Auntie Dipty Ben,
Om Shanti, Sister Committee.
how are you?
I'm so good.
Good Murli today.
Yes, lovely.
And,
Thank you.
and we
Good.
are busy with our 29th retreat, which is going to come on the 15, 16, and 17, 18
Uh,
this month
yes.
with Bibi Asha.
Oh,
So we
nice.
all are very busy towards that, and also 40 years celebration of Brahma Kumaris in Malaysia. So it's going to be a very big event, and all the souls around the world are coming for this event. And we hope
Wonderful.
all can come too. Just
Yes.
fly. Yeah.
You are Baba's very precious jewel, Committee Ben.
Thank
Very.
you. Love and blessings to all my brothers and sisters. Om
Yes.
Shanti.
They're all smiling at you.
Thank you. Bye. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. So I'm going to take your leave now, and Sister Usha Rani will do your Murli revision with you. Okay. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, and thank you, Dipty Ben.
Pleasure.
Om Shanti, everybody. So, do anyone like to share the point? What really captured them? Do anyone like to share your point? Or shall I start the revision? Okay, Papa was telling today about all about being balanced in all. The balance is more important in our life. See, just imagine in one leg, are you able to balance without balance? I mean, can't stand, isn't it? Same thing. We need to be balanced in everything in our life, and especially Baba says about loving feeling alone and knowledge alone is not a perfection thing. So, balance in both love filled with knowledge and being yogi soul is the one who will be easily able to get the victorious. Either this will can't be victorious. So, it should be the love, it should be the feeling, it should be the knowledge, it should be the yogi all together. It's like same, na? Four subject yoga, yeah, knowledge, yoga, dharana, and the service. So it's all combination of together being balanced. And then only we can also be equal to the Father. And mainly Baba talked about the one who is yogi and also jnani and yogi will be giving more attention so that they can do the service so good. And also our good wishes and pure feelings will also help us to transform anything to everyone. And that is the beautiful example how our dadis work through that good feelings and pure good wishes and pure feelings. And also, we are the one who are more fortunate. Why? Because we know who God is, who is our teacher, who's teaching us, and more. What is more we need is happiness and peace. And that's why we are more fortunate to have that. And also more beautiful checking point was, do you be able to check yourself only a benefactor? Are you an unlimited world benefactor? So check for ourselves is the most beautiful what I want to be in that. And all is all about to know the matter also. How matter is so beautiful. The matter means the body, the five elements, all how it is so beautiful, how it is cooperating with me. So that is also most important to know about that. And today I was listening to Vedanti Ben sharing that one of our senior brother was very good in Gyan, Yoga and everything. But when he left, the Baba said that he didn't take care of his body. That is the matter. So body is also important, but not body consciousness. I need to be in soul conscious and to take care of this body so that we can do the wonderful service of that. And also Baba talked about the knowledge. The three things is also important: the place, the individual, and the stage of the point. So it's all together combined form where we get the success and victory is guaranteed. Om Shanti. Would anyone like to share? Hello? Okay, Om Shanti. We will have a moment of silence and we finish.
As I sit quietly, I allow my mind to become still.
Om